Hello, hi, and welcome. Welcome, everyone. And today is about, again, I'm going to be talking about President Trump, how he actually said today that DeepSeek really is a wake-up call for everybody, not just America, but just for everyone around the world. And I hope that you're all doing well. And I just want to say thank you for your subscriptions as well. I really do appreciate you. And I'm going to be going through some of the aspects of President Trump, what he said today about how what's happened with DeepSeek has been a big wake-up call, massive wake-up call for all of the nations around the world, really, because we really got to look at the models that they're using, for example, and is it really going to be needed, all of this extra energy, and look at some sort of cost savings in some way so that it's not coming on our backs, for example. So what do you think about this? Because I really want to go deep into this because of especially with the President Trump actually saying this, it is a wake-up call. The stock markets have really plummeted, and it really has affected some really large companies, by billions. Nvidia, for example, 600 billion was lost in a day. That's a lot of money. And it's quite worrying as well that loss has happened as well. What do you think? You can, say in the comments here as well. Because I also noticed as well that DeepSeek's website, you can't really register, even though I've got it on my app, which I did it before they had issues on their actual website. So I'm going to be delving into this just a bit more deeper because I think it's important for us to understand the different things that's happening in today's world, for example. So just imagine this, right? That from what I've looked at from the news that's in YouTube, television, the press, etc., they're all talking about this is breaking news. It's an insight into the tech world. So today I'm going to be diving into the game-changing story that shook up the world in AI industry, and it's sparking a heated debate in Washington, around the world as well. So yes, we're talking about DeepSeek here. Now, China's latest AI marvel, and why why President Trump said this is a wake-up call for America. Stay with me on this in this discussion because I want to challenge the way that we think about the future of technology. Now, I know that the AIs that I'm using is brilliant, and I'm going to be doing a video after this live here, and I'm going to be uploading the video because I did a Slack training, which is the AI tool, as well as with Asana, because I want us to get used to seeing these AI tools and what it can actually do for our businesses as well. But I'll continue with this conversation here because I think it's important to understand the history. We've got to look at history and also look at the present moment, for example. Now, this DeepSeek reminds me of when the space race, like when the man first stepped on the moon, for example, when they landed on the moon. There was this big race, wasn't there, with these nations about who's going to get on the moon first. Well, this reminds me of the same thing. And I was young back then, and I never imagined that someone would be able to step foot on the moon. That is just remarkable, for example. But now we've got AI. So this race is happening here as well as what was going on many years ago when I was a young girl, for example, and the first man stepped on the moon. It just seemed impossible, right? And I just feel that this is the same thing. And you let me know in the chat if you was actually around when the first man stepped on the moon. A step for mankind. Do you remember that? Well, this is like AI for mankind. And I feel that it's the same sort of vibe going on here. So imagine this, right? Picture you, the CEO, for example, you're drowning in data, right? And that's how it was. That's how it was before AI came in. We had piles and piles of work. Even though the computers were meant to create this paperless society, we still ended up with loads of paper. Do you remember that when they said that the computer, the dot-com era, when computers and websites were created, for example, that it would create a paperless society? Say in the chat if you remember this as well. And I really thought that that was going to be the case. But this is the new type of .com, for example, and the man on the moon kind of thing, the space race type of thing, where it's AI is here to save the day and relieve business owners from all the stress and the worry of having to deal with all the paperwork, as well as staffing issues, as well as paying the bills, as well as customers and clients, for example. The list is endless when you're a CEO, for example. So this AI is going to save us, according to the news and the presidency, as well as the countries, for example. They're seeing it as this, but there's also a competition that can be not very nice as well. So there's also a dark side to this. I believe that the Pope even mentioned that we need to keep this under control, so that it's not getting out of control. Because I believe what happened with the stock markets and stocks crashing, that showed the dark side. It wasn't a good thing. I don't think it was a good thing at all, to tell you the truth. But I can't really, I'm just going from my opinion here, and you tell me what you think as well. Because, people have invested in stocks, haven't they? So that means that they've lost their money as well. And it could have been, a inheritance or something like that could have been put into stocks. So what has happened there, for example? So we've got to look at the bigger picture as well. And although it was great that DeepSeek have done this, absolutely brilliant, they showed that it can be done for cheaper. They were able to do it for $5.6 million, for example, whereas America are talking about 500 billion, the UK were talking about 100 million, for example, and China did it for 5.6 million, for example. So it really did. It's a massive wake-up call, And the stock market, we still got that aftermath to deal with, or those that have invested in the stock market, because it's not just Nvidia that lost 600 billion that day. How many other people that invested in stocks that aren't millionaires or billionaires and have lost their money? So there's that factor as well. I mean, obviously, comment in the chat. I'm just speaking from my own point of view, for example. I always look at the whole picture and not just one side. So imagine, right, that you'll be able to now choose a cheaper model, and DeepSeek showed that it can be done for free. But also, it can't be. I don't believe it can be done for free for long, for example, because I believe that they're still going to need that energy to cool down these chips that they keep mentioning for AI, for example, for robotic as well. So we've got to look at that aspect, but maybe it's going to bring things down, prices down, and maybe we can be a bit more realistic with this cost of 500 billion, for example. But it all depends how big you want to go. And I haven't got a clue how big America wants to go. Same as with the UK, I haven't got a clue how big they're going to go. We've all got to wait and see about what this is going to look like, because at the moment they've purchased these power plants, they've purchased these nuclear plants, for example, and they've got these like factory type things with cooling systems and electricity, really surging away, for example. So I don't even know what the environmental effect is going to be, and are they going to tell us about this? Because I'm not an environmentalist, but I can imagine that things can happen, for example, in that way. So that is also a concern for me. But with DeepSeek, they were able to do it for less, and also probably was kinder to the environment that we live in, because we have to protect the world that we live in. It's not, okay, it can make our lives easier, but at the end of the day, we've got to look at both things as well. We've got to make sure that the environment is protected, our trees, our planet, our seas, our birds, our everything. We've got to make sure that we're looking after that. And is there going to be an impact on this? And I'm just speaking from my own views here. I'm not a professional in that way to talk about the environmental changes. I don't know what the cause and effect is going to be of this, and I believe only time will tell. But back on to how DeepSeek was able to really reduce the price tag, and it really got our eyebrows. They were raised. We were like, whoa, how have they done this? And they just did it so fast. So it was a serious disruption that they caused. Whether it's positive is good, but also there was a side to it that wasn't good, which is where the stock markets crashed, everyone was panicking, and they're probably still panicking. We don't know what's going to happen, week, 2 weeks. What is the cause and effect going to be? Is that going to come back on us, the people? We don't know, do we? So, although it was absolutely brilliant and it was genius what they did, we don't know really what the cause and effect is. And, at the end of the day, I believe that everyone needs to work together and not be separate. Not see it as competition, see it as working together, collaborating together. This is how we should be working now. There's no race. What is it going to prove? What does it prove? Maybe someone can enlighten me. So Trump said this massive thing that, hey, this was a wake-up call. And this now is about his comments this was at the Republican retreat in Miami. Trump didn't hold back. And here's what he said. He said, hopefully, the release of DeepSeek AI from the company should be a wake-up call for the industry of AI. So we all need to be like aware and woke up. We need to become woke about what they've achieved, which is amazing. You know, I've still got their app on my phone here, and let me see if it still works actually. Yeah, so it still works because I downloaded it already, so it still works, you know. And like I said, it really seems less robotic as well. That's one thing I will say as well. I'm still practicing and playing around with it at the moment, but I'm also still using ChatGPT because that's what I'm used to. It's got my information on here as well, for example. And now what I also want to mention is that this isn't just about tech. It's about national security, economic power, and America, about America's place in the world, basically. So Trump's words have lit a fire under industry leaders and policymakers. So what does this wake-up call mean for the US companies? So let me just try and break it down the way I see it from watching the news, from listening to articles, etc. So I feel a good book is going to come on. Someone's creating a really good book right now that is probably going to come out within a matter of days. Okay? If it hasn't come out already today. Quote me if it has come out today, let me know. So let's do a quick poll, right? Do you think US can maintain leadership in AI, or do you think that China is pulling ahead? Vote in the chat, let me hear it. Or maybe the UK is pulling ahead. Maybe you know something that I don't know, for example. But I think they've been a bit quiet as far as I'm aware of. So let's look at this again. So DeepSeek, they didn't just make headlines just rapidly overnight. It shook the stock market. Check it out, Nvidia. They lost $600 billion. That's a lot of money to lose in one day. So the tech giants saw their stocks dip after the announcement. And why did investors suddenly become nervous about DeepSeek stealing market share? Because now they are in the market, aren't they? Right? So let's look at this. Let's highlight what happened here. Think about a low cost, high performing AI model, how it could lure customers away, for example, from these giants. But here's the flip side, right? The competition drives innovation, which it has. It will drive innovation because it's like a kick up the bum that they've basically had through DeepSeek app, for example. So could this be the push that the Western companies needed to really up their game? And they're going to go at this at full throttle, believe me. So what does it take? Well, competition from DeepSeek, for example, seeks force, and also American companies to innovate faster. So this race is getting faster now. Now this has happened. You notice things are going a bit quiet. They're probably in some cave somewhere working out how to get this stronger than what DeepSeek did, and to look at the cost savings and to try and explain why it is priced as it is, what is the value, because they've got to now deliver a cost-effective solution but also provide high value for for us to be able to use the AI models, for example. Now we know that Elon Musk is coming out with something, Grok 4, is it Grok 4 or 3? I can't remember off the top of my head. So we wait and see what he comes out with, because you know it's going to be good, you know, because he's got everything at his fingertips. So he's very advantaged in that way because of his wealth and what he can do with that wealth as well. Because look, those cars that he's created, you know, people are getting in cars, they don't even need a key anymore, and they don't even actually need to put their hands on the wheel. They just press a button, it's automatic for them. Imagine that. So let's look at this more in detail. So imagine if imagine if DeepSeek tools fell into the wrong hands. Cyber attacks, deep fakes, for example, you name it. This is the dark side of AI, and it's something we need to address. Well, they need to address, the governments, whoever it is that's creating these AIs need to address this so that it is protected from cyber attacks, because we want to ensure that what we use, that it's going to be safe, for example. So let's look ahead, okay? Let's look ahead, and despite the challenges, this competition has led to an amazing breakthrough. And think about it. Public-private partnerships, global collaborations, and innovations, this could change the lives of this, for example, our lives, from personalized medicine to smarter cities. The possibilities is endless, and we know this. We know it's coming, and we've got to really embrace it, but look at it in a safe way and not just jump straight away. Got to make sure it's been assessed and it's been studied properly. We can't race to do this because something could happen wrong, and we don't want that. None of us do we? So we want to ensure that although they're probably, you know, in a cave somewhere working things out, for example, how they can get this on the market quicker, we don't want to rush this. We want it to be safe. We want to ensure that it's safe and that we can use something that is safe and that's been tried and tested. So what are your thoughts on this? Because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because for me, I'm happy with the DeepSeek and what's happened and what's been done, but I'm also seeing the other side of this, and that there's a dark side to this, because look, their site's been hacked already. So you can imagine that you can get hackers that can just break in to this, for example, and you've got your data. What's happened with the GDPR? What's happened with the data protection, for example? You know, when these things are created, we have to be regulated. Like I said in my previous videos, we need to ensure that we're regulated. We need to ensure that if there is a breach, that there's a reporting body, for example, and that there's things in place for if someone does do a data breach, or if someone attacks the AI, that you've got a policy in place, and also those that create the AI also have a policy in place so that it's safe for everybody to use. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments here. What do you think about this AI now that there's DeepSeek, there's the stock market situation, but also the data protection. What do you think? Type in the chat if you can, if you're able to, if you want to, and tell me what you think. If you've got AI, do you have policies in place that if something goes wrong, what are your security measures? What are the security measures? Now, yes, there's paperwork to say your information is safe, blah, 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 but how do we know it's safe? How safe is it? And that's for all of the AIs that we use. Now, this is the reason why I like the tried and tested, and I've been using certain AI types for years, for example. And since last year, I've been using AI. And after I've done this video today, this live, I'm going to be doing a video on, I'm uploading it, on using Slack AI and also with Asana. I'm also going to be going through that in a video because I want you to be able to understand what these tools are, because when you're in business, especially healthcare business, and you're so busy running the business that you're not even thinking about how you're going to use this or what should I use. But if I can show you those different tools, because I know how to use them because I've been using it for years, then it's something that you can look at that's going to help alleviate your staff members that are, you know, overburdened with paperwork and with tasks. Because when you're in healthcare, there's a lot of regulations, it's heavy regulations. So that means it's like you're doing 5 times more than what another job person is doing, for example. So this is why I believe that the healthcare has been delayed because of the privacy laws and the GDPR. And now they're now ready to test the market, etc. But look what happened with the DeepSeek, for example. Hackers got in. So I don't know if this has actually happened with ChatGPT, whether hackers got into theirs. Is anyone here that can say that yes, it's happened before? Because, you know, obviously this is new to me because I'm starting to do more research. So I'd like to know if it's happened to ChatGPT, and if so, how many times, for example. So what are your thoughts on what I've just said about Trump saying we need to wake up? Is like shaking you, you know, but it's also shaking me and the public. We need to wake up and use tools, especially in healthcare business, for example, that we can use that is not something that we're not sure about, for example. So we have to be careful what we put in to some of these AI tools, and that's why I'm experimenting with different ones, so that because this is what I also do as well. We do AI automation services, so we do an AI audit, but we also do automation services where we discuss with you what you're struggling with in your business and what you need help with, for example, and then we create the AI tool, for example, or we recommend the AI tool that is suitable for your particular business, for example, in the healthcare realm. This is what I'm referring to. And automation, AI automation, is good, but it needs to be the right type of AI automation for healthcare businesses, because obviously it's a bit more delicate. So we've got to be mindful of the tools, and that's why I'm doing the demonstration after this live today. I'm going to do upload it, and it is about Asana and also Slack, because we know that. So I'm easing into these things. I'm going to be doing Microsoft as well, because there's so much tools in these things that we're actually using today. But what I'm also creating is a workflow, so that for each company is different. So a workflow would need to be created, for example, to see the types of tools that you need to use in your business that's going to help your business, what you feel that you need in your business. And then it's going to have like prompts and triggers and reasoning, and data has to go in to that. And then that has to then populate and work for your organization, for example. So we are a AI automation services solutions, which is an agency basically, because this is the future. So I'd be silly not to do this as a business coach, for example. Like I said, I've been in healthcare for over 35 years, and I've had my own healthcare businesses for over 25 years, and I've been a business coach for over 10 years, for example. And I've been through 3 recessions. And I tell you what, if I had AI back then, it would have saved me a lot of heartache, a lot of headache. I would have been able to spend more time with my family. And don't get me wrong, I don't begrudge serving, because, you know, I enjoy serving clients, for example, vulnerable clients in the community back then, for example. But at the same time, if I had these tools, I definitely would have jumped on. I would have become woke, basically, and I would have been using them. And that's why I know for a fact that this is a good tool, that these are good tools for healthcare businesses. We've just got to get with the program and get used to using them. And, you know, we can do a free audit, for example, but also we can implement a AI automation in your business, because voice AI is just amazing. It really is. It can do so much. It can answer your calls. It can take messages. It can, you know, email. It can send off. It can just trigger different agents within your business, for example. And I'll go more into that as I'm doing these daily trainings, because I plan to go live daily to help you understand about the AI tools and what they can do in your business, because some of you aren't used to this type of thinking, AI tools, for example, and it's new. For example, I've only just been using it for a year, but really it's been around for donkey's years. Alexa is an AI tool. Siri is an AI tool. The list is endless, for example. So, you know, like President Trump said, that DeepSeek, amazing. What you did was absolutely amazing, and you did it in record time. 2 months, for example, was amazing. And it is a wake-up call for all of us. But it also has made me think about, you know, what happens if it gets hacked? What happens with this? So that's why, for me, in the healthcare business, for the businesses, for example, we need to be mindful about the tools that we use. And DeepSeek, don't get me wrong, it is very good, but it will have its limitations, just like ChatGPT will have its limitations. So we have to make sure that we're using the right AI tools that's going to help healthcare businesses. And there's different ones that can do different things as well. But some of them can do multiple things, and those are the ones that you probably would be interested in, for example. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's talk, because I wanted to discuss this, because it's in the news and it's in the press. For example, if you've enjoyed this live tonight, if you could like and subscribe, thank you to all of you that have subscribed to the channel, and also thank you for your likes and your comments. I really do appreciate it, because I want us to be able to collaborate, and I want us to grow, for example, your healthcare business, because there's a new way of growing your business. This voice AI can do so much. It can do your sales for you. It can call care homes for you. You know, it can do like so many calls faster than what a human being could ever do, but also be friendly, and it doesn't get tired. You know, you can't beat that. And it can email and send you presentation packs and send the email letters and also transfer the call and also put you through to another agent, and they talk. The language is very, very good, and they can speak different languages. It's amazing what I've been listening to lately. It has been amazing. And hello. Hi, thank you, Daryl. So let's look at this in greater depth, and that's why I'm here to show you. I've come from a teaching background before I even went into healthcare businesses. That's what I used to do. So I want to be able to share this with you, because I want to open up your mind to this AI world, because, you know, the race is on, but at the same time, you've got to be aware of what ones to use for your business as well. So thank you so much for being here. Drop in the comments if you're watching the live. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your busy day, for example. I appreciate it that you spent this time with me. Also, if you're watching the replay, let me know you're watching the replay, and let me know if you're using AI and what are you using presently at the moment. I'd be really intrigued in that. If you're, you know, whether you're in the healthcare business or whatever type of business, it really is good. So yes, excellent. Yes, you can. Yeah, I can put a link here for you so that you can get some information. Let me just put this here for you now, and then you've got it. I'll just put the link here. It is in the description, but for ease, because it is important that we look at all these things. And like I said, it can schedule appointments. It can do so much. It really is truly amazing. And I love it. I love it. There's my link to get more information. I've just put my link there. Thank you, Daryl, for that. And what I want to do is I'm going to be showing you different AI tools, and one of them does include about searching for contracts as well. So I want you to be aware of that. I'm going to be doing lots and lots of presentation, lots of tutorials, lots of videos, because I want you to wake up to the AI world as well, so that you've got that time to think about it. I was having a discussion with a wonderful woman today in America, and she's using AI now, which is really good. So, you know, let's do it. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. Let's get our businesses growing in the way it should be without it draining us. And imagine you can go on holiday and AI is just sorting everything out for you. You know, we always do that. We go on holiday, we're tempted, aren't we? We see our laptop, we bring our laptop with us, and we're like opening up our laptop. We just say, let me just check my emails. I'll only be an hour. So you go in there and it ends up being 2 hours later. Then next minute you're on the phone. Did you get that email? Yeah, good, excellent. Yeah, you're micromanaging. AI will take over and do that for you, so you don't have to do that, and enjoy your holiday or enjoy your time off. You're entitled to that. That's the problem with today. We're just running at speed and we're not looking after ourselves. And I want you to look after yourselves. I want you to be able to serve, but also serve you as well. And AI will serve you and your business. So that's my recommendation. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Daryl. And I hope to speak with you soon. And I've put the link in the chat there, but also in the description, there's a link to book a free 15-30 minute audit on AI, just to talk to you about what it is that you're looking to do in your business. And also, if you're in the UK, look, there's that funding, that 250,000 seed funding that you can apply for if you're in the UK. Okay, but your business has to be under 3 years, for example. So don't miss that opportunity. What are you waiting for? We got our boot camp as well next month, and I cover it on the 5th day. Application, how to do your seed funding, and I'm there to help you answer the questions. For example, it's here for you. AI's here. There's seed funding, which is on the government UK website as well. You can look it up. I've got a video here as well, or it might be on this side here for you to look at. For example, after this video, for example, after this live, I have to wait for this live to render, and then obviously I can then add the cards at the end, for example. But you know, this is an amazing opportunity for all to get into this AI business, because you can grow your business at rapid speed. Because you imagine you've got an AI making calls for you while you're at the office, or you've gone to work, for example, and they're making calls for you at the fraction of the cost. So there's AI for startup, micro, small, medium sized business enterprises, and large. It's for everybody, and even at home. It's amazing, isn't it? So I hope that you've enjoyed today's training and discussion, should I say. I'd love for you to book a free 15-minute appointment with me. Like I said, I'm going to be uploading the video of me showing you about Slack and Asana, how they link together, and you can create, I want to be able to show you about the different things that you can do with these AI tools, and with these tools that we can use in healthcare businesses, for example, or in any business. It's not just healthcare, because I know how to do all for all businesses as well. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope you've had a good evening, and stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to be uploading this next video. It's probably going to take about an hour for it to come through, but it will do. So stay tuned, and I will see you tomorrow on the internet. See you live tomorrow, same time, same place. Take care. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everyone.